Hey, welcome to a new video. I'm making today a sci-fi barrel from scratch, modeling in Blender and texturing in Substance Painter. It's a game-ready prop designed to bring detail to your environment. While it's optimized for games, it's not exactly low poly. I focused on a smooth silhouette and added some extra details to make it stand out. Let's get into it. I started this barrel from a circular vase with 32 vertices. That gave me enough geometry to add details and extrusions later without running into limitations. Starting with a denser base really helps when you plan to push the shapes or add subdivisions later on. To speed things, I keep everything symmetrical. I use a mirror modifier on X, Y, and Z axis. This way I could focus on just a portion of the model and let the modifiers do the rest. At this stage, I was mostly trying to build a strong base. I didn't have a super clear idea yet, just a bunch of references, so the goal was to keep it flexible and balanced. Next, I added some subdivisions to start refining the shape. To keep the edges clean and controlled, I use a bevel modifier like I usually do and draw it with edge weights instead of manually adding super loops. This approach gives me full control over where I want bevels without cluttering the mesh with extra geometry. It also makes future adjustments way easier, since I'm not locked into a bunch of edge loops I'd have to manage later. Sometimes when working with circular shapes, adding an extra loop isn't really an option. It can easily mess up the silhouette. That was the case here when I started working on the handle for the barrel. Instead of adding a full loop, I used a knife tool to manually cut in the geometry. After that, I just redirected the new edges to flow around the shape properly. At this point, I did what I always do in my workflow, preparing the meshes for baking. I used a simple rename addon to quickly rename all of my high poly objects, adding the underscore high suffix. Then I duplicated the collection and renamed it to low, swapping only the suffix to underscore low for each object. This setup is super useful when baking in Substance Painter because it lets the software match each high poly to its low poly counterpart, applying the details correctly to each part of the model. Now it's time to simplify the mesh. I applied all the modifiers and started cleaning things up, mainly removing edge loops that didn't affect the silhouette. This step is super important because we want to keep as much of the original shape as possible, but without unnecessary geometry. The idea is to project all the high poly details onto the simplified version later in Substance Painter, so the final polygon really depends on the project. In this case, the model ended up around 30k triangles, so while it's game ready, it's definitely on the dense side. For a PC game, that's totally fine, but for more optimized workflows, you might want to use LODs or explore other ways to reduce that geometry. Also, it's good to define your target platform early on. If you're aiming for mobile games, you will need to avoid dense geometry from the start, even using a lower vertex cone for your base cylinder. While simplifying the geometry, I'm also adding seams, those red lines you see, to help with the UV unwrapping process. At the same time, I'm adding sharp edges with the weighted normals modifier and using the keep sharp edges option. This ensures that the hard edges of the model stay crisp and well defined when baking the details later on. Seams work as a cut lines that divide the mesh into sections, allowing us to unfold it into 2D without too much stretching or distortion. This is crucial for getting clean textures in Substance Painter. To organize the UVs, I use the UV Pack Master 3 add-on, but you can also do this with Blender's default tools. The goal here is to pack the UV islands efficiently to make the most of your texture space. As usual, I started painting vertex colors on the high poly mesh. This allows Substance Painter to use those colors as masks, applying textures only on the colored areas instead of the entire mesh. Remember, the colors need to be different from each other, so I created a color ID palette that you can use, and it is free, available in the description. Next, I move to the baking process in Substance Painter. You can follow the quick settings I used, but it's important to double check that there are no red overlapping parts in the mesh. This helps to avoid any glitches during the bake. As always, the texturing process is creative, so feel free to make your own design choices. However, it's important to base your work on references to keep your ideas clear as you create the textures. You can download my base material, which is originally for stylized models, but it works great as a starting point for the main colors. From there, you can add more details to make the barrel unique. I hope you found this useful. Let me know what you think in the comments and feel free to like and subscribe for more 3D content. See you in the next video.